Hello and welcome to another episode of the Topcincopod. Topcincopod. Topcincopod.
What are you doing? I'm at the local, bro.
Yeah, so I remember saying about that, but now the cops.
Yeah.
Another episode. Welcome everyone. Thanks for watching so far and hope you enjoyed this new episode. Before I get into it, just need to make sure that you are liking, following, sharing, subscribing, and even commenting. We just need interaction on the pages, and that will be on the TikTok, Instagram, and on the YouTube pages. And we're at Topcincopod, and that's at Topcincopod on all of those platforms. Please make sure, like I said, you like, follow, share, subscribe, comment. That would be much appreciated. This is a special episode, end of season award special. It's only right that we did this. You know, like I said, the end of season fizzle episode was out last week. Thank you for all of those that have watched so far. If you've enjoyed it, thumbs up. Thank you very much. This one should be a little bit more entertaining. We're just literally doing pure awards. We've got questions that we're going to go through. It was an interesting season, and we've came up with some questions, and we're going to not questions. Yeah, we came up with some good ones actually, and we're going to go through them and discuss. So hopefully you enjoy. Jimmy, thank you for joining for the end of season awards. How you doing?
All good, mate. All good. It's only right I came for the end, as I was here at the beginning.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I'm very happy to be here, as always.
Yes, mate. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, as we was like saying before, we came on. It was 10 months since the very first episode, so still going strong. It hasn't been easy, but it's been fun. That's for sure. Talking football, what we both love, especially myself. So. First awards was something that I kind of incorporated into the pod towards the end of it, which was bum of the week for the manager, whoever the stinker of the week. But this one we're going to do the season. So who is yours for the season, Jimmy?
For the season, it was quite tough because it was between. I initially went Ange because I thought like it went horribly. And you got sacked at the end of it, so like it's about time to go.
The amount of defeats in that season,
was great. Like
crazy.
On a different, in another season, Tottenham go down like in that form.
100%.
But the reality is he did win a trophy. And
man of his word.
He is a man of his word, and because they've replaced him with Thomas Frank, I think it's hard to say. Certainly, as of right now, Tottenham are in a better place now after him coming in, his tenure there. Now that so, I don't know, or at least I'm inclined to think that could be the case. So I don't think it's him. So I've given it to Ruben Amorim because it has been fucking shocking. It has been shocking how bad
absolute south. He came in the north, and it went south. South. Now, it was so bad.
I will say this: I think every player, all these players, the 5 players that he's excluding from training and all that, I do completely agree with it. I completely agree. Yeah. All of those players do need to go, but at the same time, it's like we're not signing. I mean, it's not necessarily his fault, the signings, because this is talking about going more into new season, whereas if we're talking just strictly last season, it couldn't have gone any worse, really. It really, aside from literally losing every single game, it couldn't have got much worse than that.
He had a nice, the little European run,
but then it doesn't matter.
That was the only joy that I guess United fans had.
But European runs, for me, especially if you're, even if you were a former big club, like that, it only counts for something in the Champions League, and even then, unless you win it, a good run doesn't really mean anything. Like it just doesn't.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think it's him. And as of right now, I think he will be, if things don't change, I think he'll be the first manager to be sacked in the next season.
To be sacked.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that you said him because I had two in my mind as well, and the first one that came to my mind, he didn't even last a season, was Russell Martin, dismissed in December, 9 points from survival. He won 2 games out of 16. It was shocking. It was bad. The amount of mistakes they were making. They were still trying to play the way that they did in the championship. We were talking about it week in, week out. We were just like, is this guy going to change? Is he going to adapt? He was stuck in his ways. It did not pay off at all. It was embarrassing for Southampton, and it's really made, I think, a lot of teams realise that if you can't play that way, coming up from that league, don't try and do it in the Premier League. Or if you do try and do it, you do need to adapt if you are constantly and consistently getting beat the way you were. So I think for him, it was naive of him. So he's definitely got to be there. And Amarin as well. I think it just went horribly. They all thought, I think when he came in, it was going to slowly turn in the right direction. And I can't even really say that it's been in the right direction right now. It's still not great. It's still not great. He's got a lot of work
I
to
don't
do.
think anyone could make the argument that I'm not saying it necessarily would have been the best long-term solution, but I'm talking strictly last year. If Ten Hag had stayed in the job, we would have. I don't see any way we finish in that same position.
You're finishing that low. That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah,
like,
not
if
even
Ten Hag
close.
stayed, are you finishing that low? Because it was a frustrating season for you under Ten Hag that season. But I just didn't see the performances anywhere near as bad as that.
No, we
If
were
I'm
way
being
better.
completely honest,
It's
would not have
undeniable we were
predicted
better.
that. Would not have predicted that.
No,
Would
but
not have predicted
but at the same time, I don't think because Ten Hag was willing to bend his principles to the players because the players weren't giving him what he wanted to. He then basically went back to this stupid fucking shitty counter attack style of football. Then you have kind of lost the dressing room because it's like, well, you don't have any principles. Then you're just going to do whatever the players are the players are basically the boss in that situation. Then if you're just going to play however it's whatever's best for them. So I don't think it was the best long-term solution, but I can't. There's no argument for me that we would have finished in the top half at least. I think
at least with Ten Hag. That's interesting. You made that point. It did cross my mind as well when I was thinking about the managers and who to go for as well. It's a very good point to make. On to the next one. And obviously, it's only right that we give praise to the manager of the season. We're not here to obviously slate everyone. We want it to be positive at times as well. So who is your manager of the season?
Manager of the season, this one was a pretty easy one for me. Just the way he's got his team to play this year, I think they've been the best team to watch by far. Did come up a little bit short against Chelsea just now, but I don't think that diminishes what they were for the whole season. That's Luis Enrique of PSG.
PSG, yeah, definitely. And I'll add to that as well. I think you take it away from the football just slightly as well. I think it was going round about what had happened with his daughter. That was obviously very tragic and sad as well. So I think everyone just kind of wanted him, especially going into that Champions League final. They definitely wanted PSG. Like a lot of the fans wanted him to kind of do that, and for his daughter as well, sentimental. But the football has been incredible. The midfield that he's created there has been, I don't want to say shocking, but it has taken a lot of people by surprise with how good that three have been. Ousmane Dembele has been an absolute revelation. He's actually shining in that team. He you know what? I was about to say he's the main man, but they've got no one really is the main man, which is probably why they're now shining, because everyone's just fulfilling and playing to their potential, which is clear to see. And you can see that when you're doing that, you're going to get results on the pitch. They came up short against Chelsea, which Chelsea did a very good job. Maresca, I wouldn't say manager of the season for Maresca, but a quick shout out to him as well, because one, that was a great. I would say managerial / footballing performance against such a class team. He deserves credit for that. First season, he was talked about potentially winning the league. Obviously, they ran out of steam very early on with that, or maybe that pressure got to them. But it's a young team, still managed to finish fourth, Conference League winners. This is all in your first season. You just came from Leicester, who won the championship. So pat on the back to him as well.
Yeah,
I don't know what you think. What are your thoughts on the rest of the quickly?
Yeah, I think he's done a ridiculously good job. If I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be over the moon with how it's gone.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think you're right. The sort of title charge was very short-lived, but even he was like, "Yeah, we're not ready for that at all.
Yeah.
We're not even close to being ready for that." And in a season where you don't think you're ready, you finish it being world champions. That's not too bad. It's not.
We're not ready to win the English Premier League, but we'll win. We'll just go and win the world. We'll
go win two continental championships instead. Yeah. No worries.
They finished the season very strong.
They were without a doubt the best team. Considering they beat PSG in the final as well, it's undeniable they were the best team of that tournament.
Let me put this to you: the way I think of it sometimes when I look at squads and the players they've got, when people say, our squad's not that strong, our squad's not that strong. Think about if you were going to play FIFA, right? Like, there's certain teams that you're going to pick just because of the individual brilliance that they've got in their teams. Like Chelsea's definitely one of those. That if you're playing FIFA now, like that's probably one of the teams you're going to pick because it's just bare stars.
Yeah. And you've got 10 different goalies to pick as well from. So you've got so many options in every position. It's good fun. It would be a great.
They've got rid of two in the last. They got rid of two in the last week. 2 weeks though. Kepa and Petrovic are gone. So
True. That's true. They're probably down.
The squad's they're gonna keep selling as well between now and the end of the transfer window. That's for sure. So we'll definitely see some millions going back in, mate. That into their transfer kitty. Best English player, please.
So best English player, I think, winning his first trophy and just dominating the league as well.
Yeah.
I haven't seen an English player do it like he has this year. That's Mr. Harry Kane.
Yeah, and just to follow up on what you've said there, we'll give you some stats as well. I mean, 51 games, 41 goals and 14 assists is not bad at all in your first season.
Yeah, was that his second season now at Bayern, isn't it? That's his
second
season.
Second.
But still, but he
I forget,
smashed it.
The time is just flying.
His goal numbers last year were crazy. He got I think over 40 goals last year or something like that. To be nearly at 100 goals after two years is crazy, and over 100 goal. He'll have over 100 goal involvements in 2 seasons. It's outrageous. He deserves to have something in a trophy cabinet. It's probably not worth buying a cabinet for one medal, to be honest. Just put it on the shelf. But hopefully he's now going to be able to get to the point where a cabinet's worth buying. Yeah. I hope he gets to that stage as well.
He's doing
especially for England. Get yourself a World Cup winners medal next year. I'm doing it to everyone I speak to, both here and when I'm in the States. I just constantly tell them that the World Cup's coming home. It's coming. And when I was in America, I was like, first we're going to take the World Cup, and then we're going to take this damn country back as well. I was like, this is just phase one. It's phase one. Phase one's getting football back, and then we're going to take you back.
Oh, God, you're too much, man. Fucking hell. I just wanted to mention Declan Rice as well. As another, obviously, Kane stats, he's my number one as well. But Rice, 52 games, 9 goals and 10 assists. And then obviously that performance against Real Madrid, the free kicks, for Arsenal fans that were watching, a lot of them will say it was their favourite moment of the season. Some of them favourite goal of the season. It was a great game. He surprised a lot of people where he kicked on this season as well. So hopefully he's now hit that level. He now needs to progress again for next season. Otherwise, everyone's going to be coming down on him like a ton of bricks, especially like the journalists and the media and all that. But very good season for him as well. So just wanted to give Declan Rice a shout out as well. Declan Rice.
Absolutely. I think he has set a new bar for himself of that. That does need to be. He doesn't have to listen. If he delivers 20 goal contributions a year as the type of player is, that's unbelievable. Like if he's giving 10 goals, 10 assists, that is ridiculously good for a more defensive player. It's unreal. So if he can get even as long as that's his level now, and he's if he falls a couple short of it or a couple more of it, great. Yeah. But I think if he can if this is just the best season he has, then that would be a real shame. But if this is now the new standard and this is what you're going to get from every year, then that's incredible. Like you've got he'll look like a bargain before long.
100%. Yes, let's see. Fingers are crossed. Arsenal fans are going to want that. Let's be real, because everyone is strengthening and we need to be strong again next season. Right. This is a bit of a weird one, but I chucked this one in there because so many teams had injuries, but there's probably a few that just stood out more than others. Which team would you say suffered the most, from injuries last season?
So I do think I put Tottenham as this because I do think they did have a real rough time with it.
It was a ratchet season.
It was, and I do think it's one of those. I don't know. It's hard to know because when they did have a full strength team, they did still lose games they should have won, as well. So it's not like it's not like that excuses their whole season, but that I think it's more of an interesting because it's definitely conceivable that they have a full strength squad and still lose a lot of games last season. They would have still lost a lot, but. I don't know. I guess in my head, I wonder if the most was
it's because I think it's the amount of games that we saw them lose in the Premier League that we've never ever seen in me and you's lifetime. We've never seen that. And the first thing you're going to say is the injury. So I think it just shouts out Spurs for that one. Like I said, it was a bit of a weird season, a weird question as well but then so many teams suffered from injuries and theirs was just clear as daylight for all to see, and I think let's just see next season what actually happens. If they've got a clean bill of health, and it's a new manager now anyway. But if they've got a clean bill of health, let's see what they can actually do as well, because we did not expect what we got from them this season.
No, and to be honest, I think they'll have an improvement this year. I don't think it's going to be. I think they'll be a top 10 team. I don't think there'll be more than that going into the new year. I still
see them
think
pushing for the European spots.
No, I don't. Okay, to be honest with you, yeah.
We'll see. If I was to give you a quick answer on that now, I don't see it either. Not top 7, 8. Not with what.
Not with what's out there at the moment. Yeah, that's it. Everyone else is so good now. There's so many good teams. So yeah, I think they'll struggle. I think they'll struggle with that.
You need some underperformers to pop up next season if they're gonna sneak in there. That's for sure. Young player of the season, my bro. So with this one, I put a cap at it for 21 and below, because that's proper young player. Come on, we're not doing this over 23 and
23 is crazy. You're a full grown man at 23. That's
you're grown now. So let's do young player 21 and below. Who is yours, bro?
For me, it was only one name that really stood out, and that was Lamine Yamal. He's already in the conversation for being one of the best players in the world. I do people that are saying he's the best player in the world, I think, are getting too carried away. For sure, he's exceptionally talented, but I just think we're a couple levels behind him being the best player in the world. But I think he will definitely get
that.
I'd be stunned if he never won if he does. I'll be actually shocked if he doesn't win more than one Ballon d'Or, to be honest with you, throughout his career. But not yet. But definitely, young player of the year, the most exciting talent in world football. It's him for sure.
Yeah, just turned 18 as well. So I would say, because I didn't want to be the same as you as well. I went with someone different, and he's a defender as well. Lamine Yamal is clear as daylight that he is the best young player. What he did in the Euros last season, last season as well, like that's when everyone first was just like, if you weren't already watching him, like you saw that and you were like, right, like what the hell? This kid's that how old? And he was mashing it up, and then you get into the season, and he's like, yeah, this weren't a one-off. This weren't just a tournament. Like, I'm actually out here. Like, this is what I'm doing. Like, he was performing. So, Lamine Yamal easily. But I was going to give Dean Huijsen a mention because I think for 18 million from Juventus, he played 41 games. Five of them actually 41 games this season. Sorry, five of them being at the Club World Cup because he was that good at Bournemouth. He showed everyone how good he was. The performances were that consistent and that brilliant. He got his move to Real Madrid. Played for Real Madrid in the Club World Cup, like I just said. 5 games there. That's not a bad season, first and foremost, for someone that's gone from Juventus to Bournemouth to Real Madrid in the space that he has. And, this is why football is a funny game.
Like just a crazy 12 months going from Turin in Italy to fucking Bournemouth. Like, I don't know if you've been to Bournemouth, but it's just that there's a contrast in style, culture, fucking everything. And yeah, he had an amazing season, like performance-wise, and the team did great. And then all of a sudden,
he was so good.
I'm knocking at your door. You must be like, fucking hell, like,
holy
shit. Life's a funny old game, isn't it? Jesus Christ, how am I at Real Madrid now?
Managed to bag himself 3 goals and 2 assists as well. Two of the goals being against Arsenal and Tottenham. So it was not a bad season for him at all. So
he's a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah, very very good player. And I think he even looked he looked very very comfortable in that Real Madrid team already. So
well, he's like, isn't it? His mum's Spanish or something. So he can speak fluent Spanish already, can't he? Like he's.
There you go, meant to be.
Well, he said he claims like he says he sees himself as Spanish.
Oh, okay, but he's Dutch.
That's how if you hear him speak, he's got like an English accent. It's quite funny. Like he's got like just a South England accent. He's like, yeah, I see myself as Spanish. Like, do you, Bell? All right, then. But then I heard him speak Spanish, and I was like, oh no, he's Spanish. Fair enough.
Oh yeah, you were like, oh yeah, I can hear that.
And he speaks like Spain Spanish, but it's with like the lisp and everything. Like he was popping off. He was going for it, boy. This ain't no dual English.
I have to check that out, boy. I hadn't even heard that.
Yeah, look, watch his opening interview for Real Madrid, and you'll be like, what the fuck? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I should stop swearing. I've realised the editor bleeps out my swearing all the time, and I've sworn loads already. This episode. Sorry.
You wanted to be busy this week, innit?
Yeah, it's always me as well. I don't think he ever bleeps you out. I don't think I've heard one bleep come from you, but lots of bleeps on Jimmy's side of the pod.
It's your favourite position on the pitch. We spoke about it a few times in the last 10 months on this podcast. Where I want to know who your goalkeeper of the season is, please, mate.
So yeah, not my favourite award of them, but I'm just simply giving it to the goalie I like the most, and I do think he's had a fantastic season as well. And that's Gianluigi Donnarumma. I think he's a great goalie. I remember when he came on the scene for AC Milan, like at the ridiculously young age he was. I was like, man, I really hope this guy does become
so much hype.
Something. I hope he becomes something. And literally, he was named after Buffon. That's where he gets his first name from. How crazy is that? Like to name your kid after a goalkeeper and then he becomes Italy's goalkeeper. How fucking nuts is that?
Is pretty sick.
Well, maybe that story. Maybe the dad just says it now. Maybe he's just like, I just named him. Like, maybe that's the sort of thing I would do. I knew. I always knew. But yeah, I think won the Champions League. Came up clutch in some of the games when they were on the back foot. He looked good and strong. So. And there wasn't many for me where I was like, not many goalkeepers. And that is partly because I don't have much interest in them. So I'm not paying as much.
We all know.
Yeah,
but thank you for giving us your opinion on that one. There's There are a lot of people that probably wouldn't disagree with that, if I'm being honest, across the border in football of the season that's just finished.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, got buried 3 times against Chelsea. Unfortunately, had that collision with Musiala as well, which he got a bit of stick for, which I think is a bit unfair.
I didn't see him doing anything particular. Like, there's nothing out of the ordinary of what he does. Like, you've seen goalies do that literally.
I've seen Jordan Pickford. I've seen Pickford go into Van Dijk.
Way worse.
Like,
oh my goodness,
you know what I mean?
Way worse. Way worse stuff.
Yeah,
that was a yellow card. That was a yellow card. Remember, I watched that game.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. So and that's I don't know. I saw him do what I've seen goalies do literally thousands of times, and no injury ever been caused like in that. So it was just it was a split second thing. And he looks pretty, he seemed pretty distraught about it afterwards.
He was distraught. I watched the game live, man. It was
no goalkeeper wants to do that. So I forgive him for that.
That was
for
harsh.
Sure.
So again, just trying to be different because there's with us we kind of share similar opinions on a lot, but I again trying to be different. And Matt Sells for me was a very, very good shot stopper last season. He had a very good season for Nottingham Forest, contributed to them getting back into Europe. They shocked everyone with how they performed last season after the dreadful season that they had before and just staying up. He got 13 clean sheets. Raya got 13 clean sheets, joint top clean sheets in the Premier League. So I think he definitely deserves a mention, playing for Nottingham Forest, finishing where they did, and getting 13 clean sheets. He is Matt Sells. Great season for him, I think.
Yeah, very fair nomination. That is a good pick, and you're right. He did have a big part to play in Forest's research.
I did.
So yeah.
Even though I just talked about Pickford's disgusting tackle, by the way, he got 12 clean sheets last season. It baffles me because Everton weren't even like that high up in the table, where he still managed to get 12
clean sheets. Is crazy for Everton. That is mental. I don't remember any of those games either. Like dreaming of him. I don't know. That's a hilarious.
He's always getting worked. He's a great keeper.
He
is always getting worked.
Yeah, he is. He is. Yeah, but that's good practice for England because that's exactly how that's exactly what he has to come up against. England, so
that's why he's so good for England.
Yeah, that is. He's just like, I fucking live in this pressure. I live for this shit. Like, shit defending. Don't even worry about it, fellas. I'm so used to this.
No, he's a little bit of a level up when he goes to England, but he's still like, don't worry.
No, he is.
Guys.
England Jordan Pickford is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I don't care. He is. It's like who's the fella from Mexico?
Ochoa.
Ochoa. Same shit, bro. For Mexico, that guy is like some sort of sun god or whatever it is. They believe, but like you see, and then he plays for like in the Mexican league. He plays in like the Mexican league. Like, man, like you shouldn't be anywhere near that standard. But some players just step up, and I'm glad.
Funny, man.
Because you have to remember, for most of our childhood, when we had David Seaman, who was one of the best goalkeepers in the world, who did not turn up. It was the other way. It was like we had that problem for a long time. Goalies not stepping up for England, like just error after error. So it's nice to have one that's quite we can't even say shit for 12 clean sheets.
It's a very good point. Yeah, I do remember calamity after calamity. There was some.
Yeah, we had Paul Robinson, Rob Green, David James. Just the real black era of dark era of English.
We all experienced that era. I don't know about if the youngsters remember that. If now that we're talking,
it was horrible. It was so bad. Yeah, you were so nervous, and we had. Four of the one of the best back four defenders. Like you're talking Ashley Cole, Rio, Terry.
They must have just been like,
Neville.
for fuck's sake!
You're like, are you joking? Are you having a laugh? It just never worked. Now it's weird. Yeah, we've on paper got a much worse defense, and yet we defend much better. So funny old thing.
It literally is. Match of the season, mate. I've just kind of kept it, I would say, Premier League because I just know those games a lot better, and they were just like there. Some of them, like the one that I'm going to mention, like watched live, and it was just mad. So that's probably for me. There's obviously some great European games that have happened across the 2024-25 season. But let me start off with my one now that I've started discussing. There was the the matter of Crystal Palace away to Manchester City. That was in April. Obviously, they then played them again in the FA Cup final, and Palace were able to get their revenge. But this game, where Man City beat them 5-2, was mad. I literally I watched it back again as well, like a couple of days ago, and I was like, yeah, this was actually crazy. Like the way Palace went 2-0 up was everyone was just like shell shocked, and it's like the Etihad as well, so the place is quiet. The place is quiet. Then they go 3-0 up, and Eze is literally just like a few inches,
Inches
I think it
offside,
was, offside, and you're just like, no, if this was 3, this is crazy. Like, we actually don't know where that game would have gone, but City were just like,
yeah,
you know what, we ain't gonna let you even find out. And then they just, it's what they do, City. They're so annoying because like
yeah.
going down 2-0, some teams will crumble and fall and end up getting peppered or then shut up shop. But like
Didn't
Man City,
didn't Ipswich go 2-0 up against them as well? Because I remember us messaging each other about that. I feel like Ipswich went
yeah,
2-0 up against them, and
Ipswich
it
went
was
up
the
against
same
them.
thing where it was like they're 2-0 up, and I have zero belief they're going to win this game. Like I know that's
Yeah.
going to somehow City
But
when one
that's what I
City
mean.
get
That's what
going.
City do. If they go one
Yeah,
or 2-0 down, like, don't ever write them off. They came back and won that game
yeah,
5-2. Like De
yeah,
Bruyne's class came through. He's got a banging free kick. I saw the one of the assists of the season from Edison, by the way. Like that ping
yeah,
to, I think it was to McAtee. Yeah, yeah. And then Nico O'Reilly getting on the score sheet. This guy looked comfortable as well. He's a youngster left back. I was just like, yeah, it was just a great game. It had a bit of everything, like the players that were on show, the flair that was on show. Like I said, your goalkeeper getting one of the best assists that you've probably seen in the Premier League, and he got more assists than a couple of midfielders that we know at big clubs in the Premier League last season. Quick mention to Everton Bournemouth, because this was also a wild game. It was a bit boring in the first half, when you don't really get many highlights, so it can't be number one because you didn't have highlights
yeah,
in the first game. It's not great, but the fact that Everton went 2-0 up until the 87th minute, and within that short period of time, I think within 9-10 minutes, ended up losing that game, was absolutely mental as well. Away from home, one, that's absolute scenes. Two, to be away at Goodison and do that is absolutely mega. And three, the fact that it was you just didn't expect that from Bournemouth, and Bournemouth were just very, very unpredictable last season. They literally did an absolute madness. So those are the two games that I kind of want to mention. Actually, one more. I'm being greedy. That Cole Palmer first half display against Brighton was sensational as well. The fact that he got that many goals, set a record in the Premier League. So that game as well was a fucking top game. What are you saying?
yeah. So for me, there is obviously a little bit of a bias here, but I think it was the match where like I had the most emotion, I guess, in it as well.
I know what you're
Was
going to say.
Man United versus Lyon.
Yeah,
That
I knew
second
it.
leg where it was just
Absolute
back and forth,
scenes.
and I watched. I had work, and obviously with the time difference, obviously games start like early afternoon sort of thing. Like it might start like one p.m. here, something like that.
Yeah.
So I watched the first like half an hour, saw United go in front, and I remember thinking, I just feel like we're gonna blow this. Like well, it's not home and dry. And then they came back into it, and then I was watching it on my phone on the way to work. And then I get to the shoot, and I'm it's I think at this point, it had gone to extra time, and it was all something like that. And then I was just and basically
5-4 it finished.
I
For
had to
those
say to the
listening, by the way,
client, I was
5-4.
just like, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to, I'm going to watch this and then we'll start. Basically, like, I was like, because
Yeah.
otherwise I'm just going to be distracted by it the entire time. And then I just it was just like a child running around the shoot when it was
Literally
Harrow's
7-6 on aggregate, 5-4 at home to do what you did um, against against Leon was
Lyon.
absolutely mad.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just that was it. It just felt like a proper United game of just going back and forth and scoring goals. And again, I don't really understand how we can have that kind of performance of showing that much grit and determination and effort, and then just show literally none of that the very next
in the
week.
league.
It's like it's the
Quick
same
insight for
players.
you on that game.
Go on.
That was the first game in major European football history to see 5 goals scored after extra time.
Fucking hell. That's 5 goals in extra time is absurd. It's absolutely absurd. That is crazy.
Giving the fans
absurd.
their money's worth, mate. That is
that is fantastic. It was just one of the most intense 20 minutes of my life. 20, 30 minutes. It was just really, really too much. It was too much for my little
I'll
heart.
give you that. No, it was a great game. I keep knocking this, mate. What's wrong with me? Sorry.
So that's my pick. That's my.
Yeah, brilliant. Captain of the season. This is a unique one. I think the captains deserve a mention because obviously they're the leaders of the team. They're like everyone says they lead by example. So while I'm on the spiel of that and leading by example, one player that definitely led by example and is my captain of the season is. Do you know what? No, I'm going to mention 2 people. But my first, I would say, because it was a tougher season than him, and he had to be a proper captain for his team because his team were a sinking ship last season. Was Bruno Fernandes? 57 games, 19 goals, 19 assists, 6 yellow cards, 1 red. Mm-hmm. Bruno Fernandes, that is quite unbelievable. To be fair, in a team that performed the way they did last season. Fair play to you, mate. I have to give you a shout out because that is pretty
There's
decent.
a big argument United go down without Bruno Fernandes in that team.
Without Bruno Fernandes,
I didn't give it to him because I just think it was just such an overall bad team performance like that.
Yeah.
Whilst you're delivering a lot of goals, I don't know. I think there was times when he needed to actually just be more of a captain than just a goal.
Just the goals, that's what some fans will argue as well. It's not just the stats, but obviously,
he's without doubt. I do think he is a good captain. Yeah, I do think he is a good captain, but I just think overall, there was times when he's throwing a strop when it's like, now's not the fucking time to be throwing a strop.
It's not the time,
No, it's not the time.
So that's why the other mention was Virgil van Dijk. Another Premier League under his belt, solid season. First season under a new manager. Didn't really put too much wrong in terms of his performances that I saw last season. Very, very consistent. And all you can be as a defender is consistent. And you will get your mentions, and you should get your mentions. Obviously, the attacking players get a lot of praise, midfielders, but it's hard being a defender as well, coming up against the kind of talent that you come up against now. Players are just getting better and better, more skillful, faster, more agility. It's not easy. I can't imagine it being easy at all being a defender. And he's also been, I think he's aided Konate's game as well. He's turning him into a better defender. Sorry. So definitely Van Dijk deserves a mention. Who's your captain of the season, bro?
That was mine, Virgil van Dijk. I think he's a proper captain. Like, if you know what I mean. I always think centre backs or centre mid should be your captains.
You be your captains,
I think that's the best position for them to be. And I think he is just like, I don't know, kind of an old-fashioned captain, winning the Premier League with a team nobody expected to win the Prem at the start. I thought
they weren't. You wouldn't have said they were.
I thought they could be a surprise, but not winning it at
not to win it. Because you're like new manager. We didn't know about Arnie.
No, but there was also you saw them the season before and they weren't contenders for the title. So there was nothing really to suggest they were gonna do that, and they signed one player who didn't play for them really. It was like it was, but and also with all the contract stuff that was going on for 3 of their key players throughout the whole season, or a vast majority of it, and yet it never. It was funny. The one it affected the most is the one that left. It seems like it never seemed to bother Salah. It never seemed to bother Van Dijk, and both of them have stayed. Interestingly, so perhaps they just knew that the whole time, and that's why they were so relaxed about it. Maybe with Trent, he was thinking, if I don't play, maybe Real Madrid changed their mind. I don't know. I don't know, but whatever. But yeah, I thought how he dealt with that with just like at no point, like you would never have been able to tell his contract was up at the end of the season the way he was playing and leading the team. So for me,
that's a very good point as well. So very professional as well from
yeah,
man like Veg.
yeah.
So, your team of the season, please. Last few.
Team of the season. I'm still going to give it to PSG. I think overall they were the best team to watch. I think they were the best team to watch. And I think most people, if you watch them and then watched, I mean, you could even watch them play against your favourite team, and they, aside from Chelsea, obviously just now, they made most of them look pretty silly in how they did it. So yeah, they're for me the team of the season. And to be honest, now with what Chelsea did, they would be a pretty close second though, with what they achieved, with what they had.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I would give them.
My team is very easy for me. Team of the season was PSG as well. What we saw them do. We can't obviously the French league, but then we've seen managers like Pochettino and others go there and Emre and not get it right straight away. So it's not the easiest, but people just expect that.
Yeah.
But he's gone there, done it. The French Cup as well, and then the Champions League is their bait. That's what they've always been wanting, and he's finally delivered that. So we have to give a shout out to PSG because I think they're everyone's team of the season. Everyone wanted to watch them, especially in the Club World Cup as well. You're just like, oh, PSG are playing. We want to watch that. You want to see what they're going to do. So team of the season, and like you said, you giving a little shout out to Chelsea. I hear it. Overachievers. We're into the last two awards. Who is your biggest overachiever this season? I would say.
So I went to Crystal Palace because I thought they had for them a pretty decent Prem season anyway. Like they were very comfortable, at no risk of going down or really ever in that conversation, which for them for me is an achievement. If I was a Palace fan, I would see that as an achievement. Just a very comfortable season in the Prem is great news. And then winning your first major trophy against a giant like Man City, that's a huge accomplishment. I do feel really sorry for them with what's going on with their whole ownership dilemma. I think that's it's a little bit harsh.
Rules are rules.
Rules are rules, but it's one of it's not anything to do with the players or fans. Like that's purely ownership. So that's got nothing to. You have no say in it. You have no control over it. That's just all of that is decided. That's got nothing to do with
the Forest owner was clever enough to, I don't know.
If I was the Forest owner, I would be doing 100%. I would be doing what the Forest owner is doing for sure. No doubt about it. I would be doing that. But
he was like, "Oh, we're overachieving here, so like, I need to like switch up my model like real quick to make sure that if we do get European football, I won't be penalised." And that's. But then then you go back to Palace. You're not going to be thinking that. You still had.
There's no way going into this year you think I need to sell up because we might get into Europe. Imagine if you brought that up in a meeting. You're like, guys, I'm going to sell all my shares in the other clubs. I think we might get into Europe this year. Everyone would be like, I would hold off. I'd hold off, mate. Don't worry about it. You can keep your shares for another year. Like there was no one. So it's like, again, when I think that like that sort of like they've got into Europe by winning their first ever major trophy. So it's like, how could you possibly have seen that? And it was in a team where they were the massive underdogs in. They were massive underdogs in the final. So I don't know.
The only saving grace is if they end up in that Conference League competition, it's something that they can win. There's definitely
it shouldn't be. They shouldn't turn their nose down at it because it probably is closer to their level. That thing. I don't think they wouldn't win the Europa League. They wouldn't even get close to winning it, in my opinion.
And also, like West Ham fans will be onto Palace fans if Crystal Palace end up in that competition and don't end up winning it because West Ham have won it. So they'll be telling Palace how massive they are.
But no, you're absolutely right. They have a much better chance of having some success in that tournament and maybe even winning it than they ever would. I know there's probably more money involved, but there's decent money in. There'll be decent money for them in the Europa League anyway. Yeah. So sorry, the Conference League.
Yeah, the Conference League. Nah, it's cool. So my overachievers, I mentioned Forest's owner, but just now Forest were my overachievers because they finished seventh. Only because what they did the season before, they ended up finishing 17th, stayed up, and then to go on and go from 17th to seventh in the space of a season is pretty. In the Premier League is pretty
Yeah.
incredible. That that's pat on the back. Nuno as well, the job that he done there. He done a quality job at Wolves, got the big job at Spurs. Didn't quite happen for him. Gone back to somewhere that people would say is his level, and then he's shown what he can do. Built a nice tight unit. From what we can see at Forest, there, just on and off the pitch, it looked like it was United. It was good. It was vibes off the pitch.
Yeah.
For those that follow the footballers and seen all those clips and stuff like that. So, for me, that they definitely overachieved. It was a great season for them, and they only really messed it up in the last, I don't know, like 4 to 6 weeks, or not even messed it up, but they just didn't show that they had enough to cling on
Yeah.
and stay in there. But you asked any Forest fan if they would have been happy with where they finished this season. It's a great season for them. So
Yeah. Agreed.
brilliant for them. And then the last one is I said two more earlier. We've got player of the year. We've got to do player of the year. I think I want to say it's pretty easy because everyone's raving about him. He's been electric this season. We spoke about him a couple of times already this episode. For me, Ousmane Dembele.
Same.
My player of the year, absolutely quality. And also I think the reason why a lot of people are highlighting the season that he's had and enjoying and making noise about is because he went to Barcelona for such a high fee, didn't really perform at the level that they all thought he was going to. I think a lot of people wrote him off, and he's just like, well, more for you.
Yeah.
And he's shown what he can really do. And it's always nice to see players come back and prove,
Yeah.
that
For
they
sure.
are still that level. They are still
For sure, because I agree. When he went to Barcelona, everyone was excited. It was kind of when I saw him there, I was a bit like, is this what everyone was getting so hyped about? Like he doesn't.
That's what I thought as well, because I didn't really watch him too
Doesn't
much
seem
at
like
Dortmund.
much, and he was just injured all the time.
Yeah.
But then when he went to PSG, I remember thinking like we're already kind of getting to that kind of point. Is it like I don't know? I just remember thinking he's probably going to do all right there. I didn't think
I thought he was going to go there and
but,
just collect.
yeah, like just thought but the complete opposite has happened. He's like plays with so much freedom, and he plays. But you see, like it's that thing that always gets memes now. That like picture of him when he's like at the start, the halfway line before the game kicks off, and he's just like staring at the ball down. Have you seen that picture of Dembele? So it's talking about like Luis Enrique's press, and then there's a picture of like and they're comparing Mbappe's mindset to Dembele's in this team, and Dembele is like at the halfway line. Like, he cannot wait for that whistle to blow to start pressing, like again. And it's like, man, like that. And you see in his face, it's like, it looks like a Michael Jordan or LeBron, like that, like solely focused on the job at hand type, like thing. It's like, I'll send you the picture afterwards and maybe you'll recognize it, but it's like, yeah, you can see this guy is fucking hungry. Like, he's so hungry. Sorry, that's what again. But, so he's a hungry guy. And yeah, he deserves it. He deserves to have his moment in the spotlight. And yeah, there wasn't, I just think when I looked at other people, I go, no one's quite had the both personal season and team accomplishment. Because I do have the thing, I've had this debate with other people that I don't think team achievement should dictate who becomes the player of the year per se. Like, just because your team, I remember, for example, someone suggesting Danny Carvajal should win the Ballon d'Or because he'd won like the Champions League and the Euros and things like that all in one year. And I'm like, yeah, but he's just a fucking right back, like just because he's or like. Do you remember when Jorginho won like the Euros and the Champions League or something like that? And it was like, he should. And I'm like, but like no, you can't. You have to. If you have both, if you have like really high personal achievements, lots of goals or assists or whatever your position is, you have the high metrics in that. And your team is then hyper successful. That would then qualify you. But I do think you could finish if you finish second, but you scored, let's say you're a striker and you scored 70 goals, and the next guy who won the league, their striker only scored 40, as an example, I don't think they should automatically win it just because their team won the league. It's an individual award. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that's what team of the season is for that.
Of course.
What is that award? Yeah. But Dembele for me was both. He was one of the best player of the best team. So it was like he does deserve it. Yeah.
So Ousmane Dembele for both of us, and then we'll finish off on this last one, which is one that we're going to give a shout out to people that are over 30, mate. Because we're over 30 ourselves, so this is the best over 30.
We would never have made this category if we'd started this pod 5 years ago. This category is purely for us. It's so true, though.
Literally, I was
There's no way. We wouldn't even be thinking about it.
Let's like, shout out to them, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
so now we're like, no, they're important.
It's tough.
But it's also just a sad category because you're like over 30, and I'm like, well, I'm well over 30 now. And I still feel very young, so I don't like just it's a horrible notion of being like, all right, let's talk about the old guys now. Let's talk about the old boys.
Yeah.
Over 30s.
We'll give them a shout out. But obviously, I think for me, my standout one would have been, even though we spoke about Kane's numbers, we know he's over 30 now, but Salah, to be doing what he's doing consistently. He's 32 now. But he's been doing it for years. So even like we're talking about over 30 anyway, he's been banging. But last season, 29 goals, 18 assists. Rounded it off with a 2-year deal. Obviously, there was speculation about that. Like you said, he carried on. He just kept playing. He kept playing. Let the media talk. And he just kept performing. Listen to this. His all-time numbers for Liverpool: 301 matches, 186 goals, 87 assists. That is sensational. He's my over 30 player, mate. Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, same. I picked him just to sort of have it as someone different kind of as well, different person, because I could have easily given it to Van Dijk. I could have easily given it to Harry Kane as well. But I just thought, it's kind of, I don't know, Salah definitely deserves a shout out for that. He had a ridiculous season. So yeah, he deserves some kind of some kind.
And Mo Salah doesn't. I don't always feel that Salah gets the credit that he really should be getting in the media here.
I think it's because what he does the same. The thing is with Salah is like the footballers that like really get you like or get I think fat is when you really don't know what they're about to do, and like like you might have an idea like Messi's going to cut in on his left. But once he's cut in, you don't really know what's about to happen next. He could be about to play. He could be about to play a pass that you couldn't even see. Yeah. He could be about to finish it in a way that you're like, there's so many possibilities. But with Salah, it feels like you kind of know what's going to happen every time. It's just whether it can be stopped. It's just whether it can be stopped. But you kind of know what's going to happen. That's how it feels. If you watch Mo Salah's like best goals, they're kind of all the same goal. There's not many where you're like, that was completely. It's not like free kick goals, all the different stuff. So I think that's what people don't get as crazy about. Is it's not it's not as exciting watching Mo Salah as it was.
It's the consistency for me though, because he got written off as well. Obviously, had to go had to go to tremendous. Basel. It was Basel, didn't work out at Chelsea.
If you could like say, go and watch a game, and it's say like, and it's a little bit unfair to compare him to this, but say like if it was like a Ronaldinho or an Eden Hazard, a Gareth Bale, even like those players all. I don't want to say like Messi.
They say
I don't want to say Messi, Ronaldo because they're their own. Messi, Ronaldo are their own thing anyway, so it's not really fair to like you would pick them always, but. Just in terms of like, world class, like we'll go down as a legend for sure. We'll go down as a legend. Yeah. But I just think, it just never has quite excited me. Part of that is probably because he's played for rival teams as well. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure I'd be the biggest Mo Salah fan in the world if he was playing for United. I'm sure I would be. But just speaking at it, it's just that I think that's what the difference is, in my opinion, is why he just the things he does well, he does them at like an exceptionally good level, and just does that, and no one's really been able to quite figure it out. That's the amazing part. Is even though he keeps it kind of simple, he just keeps
So
doing
maybe
it.
he's just not. Maybe he's just not sexy enough for these for the
No,
media here, for the viewers here. But he
definitely
consistently
not.
does what he does, and he puts up numbers. So
Yeah.
great
No, he's
season
nowhere
again
near
from Mo
as he's
Salah.
not he's not interesting in that sense. He's not an
Yeah.
interesting person. He's not going to give the press anything interesting to write about other than just the stats of the game.
Yeah, maybe that's what they don't like. They can create narratives for all these other
Oh, for
all these other
sure,
quality
for
players.
sure
But
they'll
yeah,
hate that.
with Mo, it's
Absolutely.
black and white with
Well,
him.
the press will see it. Is they will go, what a fucking arsehole. Oh, I don't know, what an arsehole Mo Salah is because he didn't talk to me. They do stuff like that. They're the most evil people going as a
Yeah,
journalist. But if you don't
literally.
give them what they want, they'll try and destroy your life. And it's like, I just didn't want to have a chat with
Yeah.
you, mate. I just wasn't in the mood to give you private information. Sorry.
One
I
player
guess
that
you're
I
right.
never
No,
really
you're right.
sort
My life
of
should
we're
be
going
ruined
off
for that.
topic here, but one player I didn't really see speak to them much. Like I just going back to it is Paul Scholes. I didn't see him speak to the press and journalists much.
Well, no one. I don't know if you've heard him as a pundit. I think I think they probably tried to. And was like, oh, fucking forget it. This guy is boring. This guy is boring. And then he sucked his daughter's toes on Snapchat. So yeah, another United legend. Their legacy tarnished. What happened? The class of '92 is just fucking animals. The lot of them. They're all just sex pests.
Yeah.
These are like my heroes growing up. They're all just animals. They're all just absolute pieces of shit. You got David Beckham saying he only did charity work to get a knighthood. That's the only reason he did charity work, which is just what a horrible thing to say that is. Even if that's what you feel, don't say it. Don't actually say it. And then you've got Ryan Giggs, who just couldn't
We
keep
all
it.
know about Giggsy. Fuck it, yeah.
Well, everyone knows about Giggsy. And then you've got Scalzi. Then you've got Rio. I know he wasn't the class of '92, but you can just Google that fella. See what he was doing behind his wife's back when she was on her deathbed.
The Neville's were good lads.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, anyway, we're going off on one here.
Sorry.
Let's we'll rein it back in because we're about to close it down, shut it down. End of the episode, the Topcinco end of season awards. Hope you guys have enjoyed. It's been fun doing it. It's been interesting. We spoke about some top games, some top performers, and I hope that you guys will continue to like, follow, share, and subscribe on the pages that I've mentioned, which are TikTok, Instagram, and on the old. Hang on, what am I doing, bruv? TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Sorry, I don't know why I always struggle when it comes to that. I'm literally on 3 platforms. It's not that hard. But yeah, make sure you show love, enjoy the episode, and thank you for those that have tuned in.